Alone. Before that was Tourette's with the company. This is the Radio Wammo Breakfast at 14 minutes past 8.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Issues of the day under T-Radar.
All right, let's find out what T-Radar is up to today. Hello to you, T-Radar.
Well, hello. I'm up just thinking to myself, aren't ladies' shoes expensive?
Well, they are, aren't they? Are you looking at a particularly expensive pair?
Well, I'm just sort of standing outside a ladies' shoe shop in Vulcan Lane in Auckland thinking, it's almost sort of the less of the shoe there is, the more expensive they turn out to be.
Let that be committed to record on Tuesday, the 4th of May, 2010 at 8:15 in the morning. T-Radar is hanging outside a ladies' shoe shop in Vulcan Lane, Auckland City.
It is one of the sad realities of life from time to time that is what one must do in order to get by for the day. Not hanging out outside a shoe shop in Kabul. I'm sure they probably do have shoe shops. Women, if they've got their burqas and things on in Afghanistan, they'd have, well-shod feet.
Yes.
John T, though, just over there, all over the newspaper today, secret trip. I think the front page of the Herald screamed, PM's secret sortie. And you thought, crikey, what's he been out doing? But a little bit of a trip to Afghanistan. He's been hanging out with the SAS and the Provincial Reconstruction Team, being driven through the dust-swept provinces of the place, flown in by Hercules. It was all very exciting for him, I imagine.
You know what? I'd rather he wasn't there.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because if we send, our most important person there, it shows to the Taliban people, right?
Yes.
How seriously we're treating the situation and the war over there, and the fact that we're so heavily involved. And I'd rather it didn't look like we were heavily involved at all.
That's right, yes, but no, he was there being very heavily involved. And, they said, I heard a one radio interview this morning, said, did you have to wear a disguise? And I thought, I'm pretty sure that your average run-of-the-mill Taliban on the street in Afghanistan isn't going to recognise the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Thinking, there's some guy who looks like a businessman. It's not as if he's wearing a crown or any kind of ceremonial robes or one of those, like a mayoral chain or anything. He's just a guy and he's swathed up in flak jackets and helmets, being driven around at exceptional speed, I would imagine, and protected by the SAS. But yes, he met various people, and you're right, it's one of those odd things. They said the SAS are working with, I think they're called the CRU, the Critical Response Unit or something, which is a faction of the Afghani police force, and their job is to go out whenever something, happens. We're going to go out there and get it sorted out. So it's quite a hands-on frontline role, really.
It is, indeed.
Yes.
And our troops over there are getting scuffles. They are shooting back.
They looked only a couple of weeks ago. The SAS apparently was involved with smashing a very large cell, a quarter of a ton of Semtex and hundreds of grenades they managed to sort of capture. So, clearly doing something.
Yeah.
Not just building bridges.
Clearly doing something as opposed to service station attendants who now won't be doing anything.
No, not doing anything. They really have taken the service out of service stations. Many of us have known this for years. But now they're claiming occupational health and safety rules. You can't go out. If you want your water checked, they won't do that. You can't get your tyres pumped up, nothing like that. They're there to sell petrol. And even then, they're not even going to be pumping your petrol generally. They're not even really forecourt attendants. They're paid, I guess, minimum wage. And they are there to ring up the till to sell you some Panadol or some petrol or some personal items that you may need from a service station. So, yes, nothing along the lines of actually anything to do with your car. They're quite happy to call a mechanic. I guess that's the closest you'll get to a servicing at a service station.
That is is that a sign of the times? If anything was a sign of the times, apart from beaver fever, that's it.
Look, there are people there on being paid bugger all, and they don't really have any mechanical skill. And I suppose, it is relatively dangerous to remove the radiator cap from a car that's been driven into the forecourt. It could be, you could be badly scalded. So I can understand it from that point of view, but, gone are the times. Maybe we're just overly nostalgic, Wammo.
Yeah.
Overly nostalgic for a time gone by when there was service at a service station.
Yeah, I got yelled at through the intercom the other day at the service station.
What were you doing?
Well, I just was picking up the pump, wasn't I, and putting it into the scoot.
Oh.
But apparently the pump wasn't ready. Well, there was no car there. There was no car there. I just pulled up next to it. There was no car. I pull up there. But no, there wasn't. No, put it back. Put it back.
And it's weird, this disembodied voice yelling at you. You're never quite sure who they're yelling at. No,
looking around.
Yeah, but the one I hate the most, the prepay. You've got to prepay for your petrol. They treat everyone as if they're thieves. So, well, I want to fill my car up, but I
Yeah.
don't quite know how much petrol it's going to take, and I can get that amount, which will make it safely, not overflow, but then
Yeah.
it won't be quite as full as I wanted. So you're always driving around with not quite as much gas as you really wanted to purchase. I find it, if I go in, particularly my local service station, and I wave to the guy and he doesn't let me fill my car up, I drive off.
Do you? Off to the next one.
Off to the next one.
Hoping not to run out of petrol in
Yes,
between.
Correct. It's just a little thing I have, very annoying to anyone who generally travels in the car with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For those watching the TV show, are you driving around the Land Rover all the time? Is that the?
Yes, there's been a bit of driving around on that, but I have my own fuel. Yes, it's biofuel, you see, and I had a big drum of it.
Yeah.
Not sure how occupational health and safety regards having your own drum of fuel. You're probably not supposed to, but I don't carry it around with me at all times.
Well, they have them on farms, don't they?
Yes, they do, and there's now stringent rules about that kind of thing as well.
Oh, of course. And, hey, just talking about the TV show, I realise that we have something else in common apart from a passion for issues, T-Radar.
Yes.
That is the truck wallpaper.
Oh, the truck wallpaper.
I had exactly the same wallpaper as a child in my bedroom, and the memories came flooding back when I saw that on Sunday night on the telly show.
Now, and the great thing about it is, my parents hadn't moved since I was a child, and so it's still there. On the wall, the truck wallpaper. I had a couple of emails during the course of the last couple of days.
Yeah.
People who saw the truck wallpaper on the news and said, look, I want to have a feature wall in my house. I'm looking for a wallpaper like that. Where would I get one? I thought, wow, crikey, if my parents wanted to make a bit of easy cash, they could delicately strip that truck wallpaper off the wall and sell it. Those were the days. You don't have that now. When you're an adult male like ourselves, Wammo, if you were to suddenly think, I think I'm going to have a feature wall of truck wallpaper, you'd be laughed out of any relationship you were in.
What is retrospectively funny about that truck wallpaper is that it's not the trucks are logging trucks. They're all logging trucks, aren't they?
Yep.
They're not hauling containers or.
No. Pretty honest workingmen's trucks.
And would you estimate? Because I thought about that wallpaper, and I thought I probably spent not only hours, not only days, but probably weeks staring at that wallpaper.
Yeah.
Just admiring it, just sitting there staring at it.
And it probably did you the world of good. It means that you're the wonderful sort of intelligent, easy conversational type chap you are. Whereas if you'd been watching television as a child, you would have been probably an obese, somewhat apathetic young man.
No doubt.
But he's just come out and said, for God's sake, don't let your kids watch TV.
Oh,
but I have to think there's got to be more to it than that. There's got to be more. If kids are just simply being plonked in front of the TV and left to watch it, that's not the TV's fault. That's bad parenting.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's probably something else going on that's wrong.
There is. There's always going to be something going on that's wrong. Those kids will, they'll just watch TV. They won't have any sort of discernible skills, and they'll have to end up not even being qualified enough to sort of stand on a forecourt and not do any servicing for anyone. No disrespect to anyone who works on a forecourt with that statement.
Let alone killing any Taliban.
Fortunately, hopefully at the moment, not try to kill them, just dissuade them from being angry and blowing people up.
T-Radar.
Here's the other great story of the week. Look, if you are a terrorist cell anywhere in the world, and you're looking to actively recruit members, my suggestion to you would be don't claim bombs that don't work as your own. Taliban in Pakistan, or Al-Qaeda in Pakistan, claimed the New York Times Square bomb. And I thought, oh, for God's sake, it hasn't even gone off.
Yeah.
It's like a football club. If you're trying to recruit members, you want to be successful. You don't want to think, oh, I might join them because they seem a bit haphazard.
It's pretty shonky. Indeed.
Yes. We'll speak again next week, I imagine.
Yes, perhaps outside another type of shop.
Could well do. I could be outside another shop next week. I think I'll be in Taupo, actually.
Oh.
Yes, or Turangi, somewhere like that.
All right, we'll catch up with you then.
All right.
Cheers. It is T-Radar, and here is a track.